everyone, my name is Katie King, and I'll be talking about 5 scientific concepts as they relate to food. All of this information is from what I've learned in my FSHN class this semester, and it comes from our lectures, video quizzes, and experiential learning modules. Okay, first I'd like to talk about the science behind baking cookies. This was our most recent unit, and there really is a lot that goes into baking, a lot that happens during the process. One of those things is emulsion. So emulsion is when two substances do stay together, even though they normally wouldn't. Think like water and oil, they normally wouldn't stay together, but they can be emulsified. And that's because of small droplets of one substance going inside of the other. So in cookies, eggs are the emulsifier. They help to bring those, all of those substances together. There's oil in cookies, of course. The second is a Maillard reaction. That's a form of non-enzymatic browning that occurs in foods when proteins or amino acids chemically react with carbohydrates of reducing sugars. So this happens between the proteins and sugars when you bake cookies. One of the other units that I found really interesting was our unit on like potatoes and starches and kind of French fries and how you make all of those things and the science that goes into it. One of the processes we talked about is starch gelatinization. So that is the process of breaking down the intermolecular bonds of starch molecules in the presence of water and heat. When this happens, the water causes the granules of starch to swell and hydrogen bonds break between starch molecules. They break down. And then the water and hydrogen actually form a bond together. And that's kind of what gives the gelatinous texture. And then another thing I thought was interesting, not necessarily in how you make French fries, but how they are absorbed in the body. So oil is absorbed in the small intestines, small intestine, where glycerol and fatty acids enter the bloodstream and lymph. Starch is broken down into glucose, which travels through the blood with sodium, and protein is absorbed as amino acids. Finally, our unit on ice cream and how ice cream is even scientific. So that is one of the concepts that stood out was colloidal foam. So that is a mixture of two substances or more. They're mixed together, but they're not actually chemically combined. So there are no bonds between them. So in ice cream, it would be fat droplets, air bubbles, and ice crystals. Actually fat droplets and air bubbles, that would be a colloidal foam on its own, but then when it's frozen, you get that second kind of layer to it with the ice crystals. So that is all. I've learned a lot more, but those are the 5 concepts that we had time to cover today. So thank you.